Hello, welcome to the Geelong Zone. Or should I say the Geelong Cricket Zone? Said that I didn't want to turn this channel into a cricket zone, into a cricket channel. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do to keep your channel alive. And yes, my face is burnt. I'm aware of that. Brings us to this video. What an absolute farce at Adelaide Oval today in the Sheffield Shield. Some of the wokest, dumbest, pathetic shit I've ever seen. I've been going to the Redbacks games or cricket in general at the Adelaide Oval for 20 years. 2 decades. I am 33 years of age. 20 years of going to cricket, hundreds and hundreds of matches. I try to go to my state side as much as I can. I just don't go one day. I try to go all 4 days, which I did last week, which I will be doing this week. This was day 2. So get to the ground, which is all good. Watch the cricket. I like to sit next to the interchange bench on the left when the people come out the players come out the race, especially the opposition. It's the opposition change rooms. I like to sit there. I'll always like to sit there because people say to me, "How do you always get photos with Sheffield Shield players? How do you do that?" Well, one, it's very easy when no one else goes, and two, if you sit next to the race they come out of, it's pretty easy to ask them. And 99 times out of 100, I've had no problems with getting photos. I've had problems with actually I was going to say I've had a problem with one player, but I managed to get a photo with him last week. So that I've had no problems with players. That one was a little bit difficult. It was like pulling teeth without anesthetic. Very hard, but we got there at the end. But today was I've never experienced a day like today, especially the third session, which we're talking about. During the third session, the lights came on, that happens all the time. It does annoy me when it's bright sunshine and the lights do come on. They're on a set timer, so every time it goes past 6:03, the lights will automatically come on. And when it's bright sunshine, that can be annoying. It can be really annoying. Today was a bit gloomy. It was very cloudy, and I'm not talking about light cloud. I'm talking about dark clouds. So the third session begins. The light was on, which was all good. I was getting very frustrated. I was yelling out stuff, not abuse, but I was just motivating the Redbacks players. Come on, let's take a wicket, stuff like that. But I was getting pretty loud. They could hear me. If you asked them, they could hear me. I was getting pretty loud. Marnus Labuschagne made a ton today. Made 150 today. Absolutely right up the floor with my bowling attack. And I was like, come on, boys, he's been batting all day. Let's get him out. 2 balls later, he went. He got out. I thought, whoa, how good is this? Maybe I should have done it earlier. Then everyone came off. I was a bit confused. It wasn't an explanation, but we came off. Now, it wasn't for overs because we still had 19 overs to be bowled. It wasn't for time because when you do go past 6 o'clock, if your overs are not done, you still bowl them. You have to bowl them. And if you don't, you get penalty runs, you get fines, whatever. So they came off. So I was confused by that. And then the 2 side screens at each end. So if you've ever been to Adelaide Oval, you know there's 2 side screens, two TVs or boards or electronic signs, whatever you want to call them. Very strange information came up on the screen. It said the game has been abandoned due to a weather event, which was weird. I didn't understand that because it wasn't raining. How can you come off when it's not raining? Then I got told there was lightning 15 kilometres away. 15 k's away. that's not short. That's not that short. I thought, yeah, okay, fair enough. Fair enough. They don't want to take proportions. I thought that was a bit ambitious, but you know, it's not like it was 5Ks or 10. You know, 15's a fair while. But I thought, okay, that's fine. Then I get told, it comes up on the little board, match is over. The day was the day, not the match. The day was over. The Saka food and vendor, because there is a food and vendor open at a Shield game. Yes, that's correct. There is a food and drink vendor open at Adelaide Oval during Shield cricket. That surprises some people, but there is. That closed. The reception at Saka. So when you come into the Saka Adelaide Oval, you can purchase a ticket. That was closed. They closed that. They got told to close it. So everyone left the ground. The groundsman came onto the ground, took out the stumps, put the covers on. That was it. That was off. And plus, because it was lightning, just like the AFL, there's rules in place. You can't, you have to wait a fair amount of time. So I thought, yeah, that will take us past 6 o'clock into about 6:30. No chance. No chance we'll return. So I go back. I go back. Adelaide Casino, there's no secret that I like that place. For obvious reasons. The gambling, pokies, the strippers. There is no strippers. Well, not the nights that I go to, sadly. Mainly for the bands, the karaoke bands. You've seen the videos on my Instagram. You've seen the videos on my Twitter. So I thought I'd go there, just have a drink, have a vodka, head home. Drinking my vodka. Probably 10 minutes after. 10 minutes after that I've sat down, I get a notification on my phone that the game's restarted. Bit confused. I thought, no. It can't be. Impossible. You cannot come on the ground after 10 minutes after lightning. It cannot happen. I ignored it. And then KO. I got a KO subscription on my phone. Notification came up. The game was resuming. So I checked my phone. Heaven behold, the game was back on. After 10 minutes after a lightning event, the game was on. After 10 minutes after we've all told to go home, they told us to go home. The game is off. 10 minutes, we're back on. Get to the grounds. I rush back from the casino. I get to the ground. I thought someone was pulling my leg because when I got to the ground, it was absolutely empty. I thought, what the hell? Okay, it must be a replay. They're live. It says live, but it must be a replay, surely, because there was no one there. Walked through the entry. They said, yeah, the game's back on. I'm like, what? We all told to go home. The Saka, where they sell the tickets, the Saka store, that's supposed to stay open until the whole game is finished. The end of the day is finished. That was closed. The food and vendor stations were closed. Gone home. Went to the ground. Game was on. Everybody, I was the only fucker there. The only soul. That is some of the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life. I've been going to cricket games for 20 years. 20 years. I've seen the best of the Redbacks. Well, actually, I haven't seen the best of the Redbacks. I've seen 1 year of the Redbacks when they won the Shield. And 20 years absolutely miserable and pain. It's like supporting Carlton. Last time we won a Shield, the VCRs are out. My God, 30 years. And then we win one this year. This last time I saw a Shield game was on VCR. Madness. Absolute madness. Never seen that. You tell us to go home. The game is done. 10 minutes later, the game's back on. What a waste of time. Everybody went. Everybody home. I could have stripped. I could have ran onto the field. Security guards went home. Nothing. Everyone went home. The only one that was out the ground was the coaching staff of both teams and the players, and front of store when you come into entry of Adelaide Oval, because even when there's no cricket, Adelaide Oval is on 24/7, believe it or not. You can enter Adelaide Oval at 3 a.m. because they have functions, they have party functions. So there's always got to be someone in a guard there 24/7. That was it. Everyone went home. Some of the dumbest shit I've ever seen. What made it even more dumber, 10 minutes later, the fucking airport beacon was not even dark. But don't go home. Don't go home. That was the message. Don't go home. Stay. Stay at the ground. Don't go home. Told us to go home before, but no, this time stay. And every 10 fucking minutes, umpires came back from the bench and checked the little light meter to see if the lights improved. Groundsmen playing with their thumbs in the world of their own, waiting for a decision. That happened for 30 minutes. Every 10 minutes, umpires would come on and off the ground to check this little light meter. But don't leave yet. So they came on at 6. They called off the game at 6:05 p.m. They resumed at 5:55 p.m. from this lightning. 5 minutes. I thought it was supposed to be half an hour, 40 minutes. So that was bullshit. That is so woke. I can't believe that. So there's lightning 5 minutes. Oh, that's all right. 5 minutes. You can go back out there. Madness. And then 10 minutes later, bad light. We lost probably 5-6 overs to play. And then we were just waiting at the stadium, waiting there for an umpire to go back and forth out to the ground and make a decision. 6:10, no decision. 6:20, no decision. 6:30, no decision. 6:40, finally made the fucking decision. Yeah, let's cut it. Let's fuck it. Let's bring on the covers. Fuck it. And you have players waiting in the dugout for almost 25 minutes. Ludicrous. I've never seen that in 20 years of going to cricket games at Adelaide Oval. Absolute bullshit. What a waste of time. Absolutely incredible. And then when the umpires make a decision, the notices on the board say you can go back home again. Is what they said the first time when we came back onto the ground 10 minutes later. My rant is not at the umpires. They did their job. My rant is at the brainless idiot, the match referee. I don't know who the match referee is, but he makes the decisions. He made the decision to come off for lightning, and then he made the decision to come back 10 minutes afterwards when he said, you know what, go home. Game's off. Covers are on, go home. And then 10 minutes later, you bring him out to play. That is a joke. That match, I don't know who the ICC or the Sheffield Shield referee is. He should be sacked. And since when when there's a lightning event, we come back onto the ground 5-10 minutes later? We've had a couple of these situations in the AFL. We don't come back on 5-10 minutes later. What the fuck was that about? 15 Ks away, by the way. That's not a short distance. Because one area was very bright, the other areas there were some dark clouds, but they're miles away. We lost 20 minutes of play, 10 minutes for the coming off the lightning, and then 5 minutes fucking around waiting for something. And everybody went home. Everybody. Sheffield Shield does not get many people these days. It's not the 90s. You do not get 5,000-10,000 people there, unless it's the final. and you send everybody home only to start the game 10 minutes later. That's bullshit. Everybody should be reimbursed. Everybody. How does that improve red ball cricket? There's a growing fear that red ball cricket is dying, and only England, Australia, India will play in the next 5 to 10 years. They're the only three nations. Everyone else will lose interest. How the fuck does that improve red ball cricket that fast today? If anyone's got an answer, I'd love to know. Is that a rule? Is that a rule? When there's lightning, we come off for 10 minutes, but we go back on. Going to games 20 years. That's a rule I didn't know about. AFL, I think it's about 30, 40 minutes. They do a warm-up in the change rooms for a 10-minute warm-up. Oh, no, not with cricket. We come back on 10 minutes later. So either the Sheffield Shield match referee made a mistake and thought, you know what, maybe 15 Ks away, that's a bit far, maybe we'll just get on with it. Or he didn't know the rules. Or there was no rules and he just made it up. Pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. Farce. You were probably an hour of cricket. An hour of cricket where we don't get crowds much, as I just said, and that shit happens. And by the end of the play, there was no one there. When the game restarted, there was only me there. I was the only fan. Only fan. No, I'm not going to get naked and run on the field. Mind you, I could have, because no one was going to stop me because everyone went home. There was no security. Absolute farcical. The umpires did what they did. I felt sorry for the Saka official that was guarding the Adelaide Oval entrance, because everybody that she was talking to went home. She was by herself. Luckily, I was the only fucker that returned, so she didn't have to deal with too many people. Complete joke. Never seen that in 20 years of going to Adelaide Oval. I've never seen it. I've seen it on TV with bad light. I see it all the time with bad light. I see it all the time. And you think, oh, this is fucking bullshit. Not that fucking dark. The TV, TV's so bright. It was bright. Fuck me, I was wearing my sunnies. It was that bright. But I've never known any cricket game to be abandoned, or suspended by lightning, then 10 minutes come back onto the ground. I don't know that rule. I do not. No, I've never seen it. You had Marnus Labuschagne, you had Mick Srennie running around like headless chickens trying to find out what was going on. It was absolutely embarrassing. But we want to improve red ball cricket. We want to get more people to crowds at Shield games. Well, how the fuck do you get people at crowds when that shit happens? Because all you did was send them home. And I was lucky that I was planning to catch a train to go home. But I wanted to go to the casino, wanted to have a drink. Find out 10 minutes later, the game's on. Thought I was getting punked. I thought I was legitimately getting punked. Not good enough. Not good enough by the Sheffield Shield match referee. Terrible job. Shocking. Because you're the one that controls it. You tell the umpires, yep, come off, let's go. Umpires control bad lighting. All right? And I think that was a bad move. It was not bad. But with the lightning for 10 minutes, that's on the match referee. That was shocking. He didn't know the rules. Or he just made it up. I've never known any sport worldwide that there's lightning. We come off for lightning, but we come back on 10 minutes later. I do not know a sport that does that. Don't do it in the NRL. Definitely don't do it in the AFL. But we do it in the cricket. I don't know. I've been watching the game. I've been watching the game for 20 years. I don't know. Maybe I missed something. Maybe I don't know everything about cricket. Played at a Premier League Grade 1 for 10 years. So maybe I don't know everything. Embarrassing. But anyway, that's me done for this rant. I'll be back at Adelaide Oval tomorrow. And possibly Saturday. We're not looking good. This looks like Queensland are going to beat us. Fuck me. On that, fuck me. Are we going to wait another 30 years before we win a fucking title? We might as well fold now and just wait 29 years and bring them back. That's embarrassing within itself. So maybe I'm a little bit emotional after today, but fuck me. We couldn't get out anyone after lunch. But anyway, no more rants. End of rant. End of rant. Lucas loses it. Lucas loses it. I will. If I see that shit ever happen again, I will run on the fucking field. Embarrassing stuff. Embarrassing stuff. Anyway, it has been the Geelong zone or the cricket zone. We'll be turning to Shield tomorrow. We'll be returning to Adelaide Oval tomorrow and day 4. But thank you all for watching. And for the match Sheffield Shield referee, be fucking smart. Or step down. Not good enough, mate. Really let down the fans. Thank you all for watching.